r/AskReddit by Redmond ETS. What's the most BS excuse you've heard that turned out to be true? Not really sure if this counts, but I worked at a McDonald's years ago and I called in sick one day because I was having my dog put down. This was my childhood friend I'd had since I was 6. The day after, the manager pulls me into the office and gives me a rant about how I need to come up with a better excuse for a sick day. In anger, I ended up bringing his ashes into work with me several weeks later with receipts proving dates of attending vets, etc. Then a good few months after all this, the same manager is moving house and isn't allowed to take her 2 dogs with her. No pets allowed at the new address, so she lets her friend adopt them who lives on the next street to where she's going to be living, then proceeds to take 10 days off to say goodbye. It's been more than a decade, but I'm still salty as F about this. Couldn't make it to work because someone set his car on fire. Sure enough, it was mentioned in the local paper a day or 2 later. I had one guy no show because he was locked in a cave. Another for 3 days because he accidentally took too much Xanax. Both true. One got fired. Had a kid come into my class one day that was late and he had been a pain in the butt the whole year, so I was like, alright, what is it this time? House burnt down. No, you went to the forest and got lost, not you used that last time. He just stood there with a straight face and said, a bear slashed our tires so I had to walk. I looked at him with an as if that happened face, and lo and behold, after school his mum comes up apologizing that he was late again and told me that a bear had slashed their car's tires. She showed me the ring video and everything. I was speechless. Edit: for those of you complaining that I was mean, this kid was consistently late and rude throughout the whole year and was constantly giving me BS excuses that turned out not to be true. That's why I was mad and didn't believe him. I couldn't go into work for a few days because a tree totaled both vehicles. My boss was pissed because I had requested the day off but was denied. I had to send pictures as proof. One of my guys didn't come into work. He said that his unborn triplets had absorbed each other, and he had to console his wife that she was gonna have twins, not triplets. When I was working at a regional hospital, we had a new hire call about 10 minutes before shift saying he couldn't work because he ate some wings for breakfast and was trying to poop really fast before work and blew out a nut. Those are the exact words he gave me on the phone to relay to the boss. He lived about 3 blocks from the hospital, and sure enough we saw him in the ER just a short while later. He had testicular torsion. Not entirely true, but one time I lied to my mom and told her I mailed her a birthday card and it didn't arrive because there must have been something going on at the post office. Then a couple of months later it was in the news that a mailman was stealing birthday cards from the mail looking for cash. She emailed me the article and said that explained why she never got her birthday card. I'm out for the next 2 weeks because my house burned to the ground, and my grandmother died in the fire. My dad had to call and say he was going to be late on take your kid to work day, because the guys building a house in the lot next to ours set all the extra supplies on fire at 5 AM, and he called the fire department because it was a huge fire and the fire trucks were now blocking our driveway. He took a video. One time my dog actually ate my homework and I brought in the chewed papers which were vaguely legible. He said he could not attend today's class because he got hit by an SUV. Turned out to be true. A revolution. Had scheduled a first date, online dating, so hadn't met in person. For what it's worth, this is in a quiet city in middle America. She texted that she was going to be late, then kept pushing it back while I waited in the restaurant, before ultimately cancelling. This was a few years back, during the Arab Spring. She was an immigrant from Egypt. I had not learned that fact yet. Turns out this, our scheduled first date, was all happening the actual hour the government back in her home country fell. Cell phone networks were mostly shut down, and she was frantically trying to reach friends and family to find out if they were okay. I can't think of 3. I had a first date with this woman I liked to cancelled because she claimed her dog died. So we rescheduled, and she cancelled again because her mom died. I found out she lied about her dog, so I called her out about her mom. But she did pass away. I couldn't go to work because there was police activity near my house and they weren't allowing the bus service. My work thought I was BSing until they saw the news. I was several hours late to work and got in trouble. I told them the train I was on had some sort of emergency on board. They again thought I was BSing. Same job, until I got proof from the train company, MTA. Suffice to say, they believed me for any BS lie I told after. Kid in high school was absent one day because he'd been bitten by a cougar. Yeah, right. Turns out, he'd been bitten by a cougar. He thought he wanted a pet cougar, found some place he could buy one, and went over a weekend to pick one out. He was playing with a cute baby cougar, cuddling and wrestling on the ground, just having a great time. Then that cute little baby turned on him, bit down hard on his foot, and sent him to the hospital with numerous deep punctures that needed chunks of Nike shoe pulled out of them. He was on crutches for weeks. Buddy fell asleep at the wheel coming to work on a night shift, drifted into an electrical station yard and took out power to half the city. He was okay, but couldn't get out of the vehicle because he was afraid he'd get electrocuted. Made the papers. We weren't doing much at work anyway because dark. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.